Welcome back to Commission Review. I know we missed a week last week, but you know how things do happen. So we are back again. Oh, snap, my bad, y'all. Stuff happened in the background. We are back again with my girl to my right, on my left, however y'all see it on the screen. We are back with we almost to the end of this, y'all, but let's just jump right in. Now we know that Naya is upset and mad because her man went to the crib. Mark took another one down.
Yeah, man. But Jordan gave a good fight, and we leave the last episode really seeing not only how much of a fighter reaffirmed that Jordan is, but there's a mutual respect between both Jordan and Mark, and we don't. I don't think we leave with any bad blood between them.
I agree with that. Naya's pretty toe up about it. That was like her right hand, her motivation, her muse. She's feeling pretty messed up since Jordan is gone, and she was talking to me and Mike, which I thought was pretty cool. But she seemed so down, even when he was trying to say, it's gonna be good. But I was like looking at her like, no.
Yeah, it was like somebody turned the volume down on her motivation. It was like, ew. Like, how you're in a car and you go from stereo to mono. Yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
feel. When her baby gone, she went from surround sound to a Bluetooth speaker in the bathroom.
Look, I mean, it was tore up from the floor, but I feel bad for it too. But I was just saying, girl, just get in the game. You do. He even said it's your time. Do it for him, if anything. So TJ gets some more news for everybody that
Wait a
can
minute.
use.
That's the clue. She's been doing it for him from the start.
Mm, yes, and check this out. When he says your time, to me, at the end, I hope she gets this. I mean, I'm not sure how when y'all get to see the playback and stuff like that, but I hope she sees that part when he says it's your time, because even when she was on the show, it's like her confidence was, was down. I remember I loved her and thought she was everything, fearless, but then she had
It's
this,
one of those that you look at and you're like, don't you realize how awesome you are?
yes, yeah.
Yeah, that
I mean,
whole, but that's growth.
it
That's growth.
is.
Sometimes we have to step into our confidence. And when we do, there's a certain level of compassion that you're able to exhibit towards others because you've been there and you can relate to it. You don't just inflate yourself beyond knowing where you came from. So, it's all a part of the walk.
And I don't mean the physical part. I mean just the other stuff, like just the way, even when she was competing, stuff she didn't know she even had in her.
Yeah.
Anyway, TJ comes through and tells everybody that Veronica, she failed or whatever, she messed up. So it was pretty bruised up and everything. I was like, well, and
What's going
she's
on with the toe action in the All Stars though? Because I looked
look.
and her toe looked like she had some kind of, I don't know, some gangrene or something. But
Oh
she
no.
fell down the stair. She had missed the bottom stair.
She skipped
Yeah.
a couple of stairs, and I've done it before, just simply walking, even outside, and skipped a step and messed up myself pretty bad. So to me, when she said it, I believe that really
No,
did
I
happen.
definitely believe her. And the thing is, what had me believe her, I
Mhm.
mean, first off, the toe looked crazy.
It did.
But what really
I,
had me
wow.
believe, like, all the way down deep, because sometimes when people get hurt, they're relieved because it's like, okay, I
Mm,
get to go home on an
interesting.
injury versus going
Right.
home on, somebody taking me out. You could really, and this is how I know that she's a champion, right? She's a
Okay.
challenge champion. If you watch closely, y'all, go back to that episode when TJ says those words that I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think she expected him to say,
Mm,
this end your time at All Stars. Watch how her face changes.
yes. And he didn't
And
want to say it.
Veronica normally has poker face, when it comes to all sorts of things, whether it's humor, whether it's, being shady, whatever else, she maintains somewhat of a poker face. You can't always read exactly what's on her mind. But in that moment that he said, this ends your time at All Stars, for me, I felt like I was looking at a champion being bridled, somebody being kept from doing what they want to do.
Yes, I
And
agree.
it just tells me a lot about who she is at this stage in her life, or maybe who she always has been since, uh,
Hmm.
being three-time champ, even from back in the day. She wanted it. She broken toe. She probably would have cut that sucker off and kept it moving with 9 if they let her.
I guess
You
because
know,
she had been drinking, but I was like, oh, I've really been mad. If it's something but it is what
I
it
don't know. I
is.
think that might be more rumor than anything, but You
I mean,
know, I
they
think it
all
is.
were drinking and celebrating. I mean, it's been people have stories, myself included, where you falling down and accidental falling down because you stumbled a bit or because you had some alcohol. I don't think
And I never
everybody
knew
has stories.
her. I mean, mind you, I don't. Again, we had our own little thing, so I wasn't in her
Gotcha.
inner circle. All I can do is speak to what I know. I never knew her to be a sloppy, fall down, out of control type of drinking
Oh no,
person.
no. What I'm trying to say is, look at
That
this.
wasn't
It's
my like
not
walk with
sloppy.
her, and I
Not
hadn't heard anything like that about her in her adult life. So, you know, you know how sometimes you can just fall? I think she just fell, and maybe she happened to have a beverage or two before or after.
that's what I
You
meant.
know,
That's what I'm
I
trying to say
think she
like
just
that.
fell.
Not like she was drunk. Like even if she would have had like a half a glass, if she's a light drinker, especially like you say, she could drink a half a glass of wine and feel so tipsy where she feels like she might fall over. I only know about that
I'll say
because
this. Have
I
you
know
ever
people
been to
like that.
somebody else's house walking down some stairs that you're not used to? Because, you know, you're
That's true
talking about
too.
they're out the country. And even though this is a beautiful home,
Hmm.
standards all around the world are just not the same. And like when I got off the train the other day, the conductor said, you know, you've arrived, you know, Amtrak Penn Station, New York City. When you get off the stairs are not normal. The first step is 10 inches and the second step is 13. Don't carry your bag in front of you. I think maybe this was a case of, you know, maybe she wasn't, maybe she was tired from just, you know, again, they've been in the game for a while now. We're getting close to the final. So, you know, it's late at night. These aren't your home steps. So I think she just fell and made a mistake. And you know,
Look,
again,
and
it
reason
showed
why,
me another side of her, watching her face when TJ said those
because she
words.
cried. She
Yeah,
cried,
yeah,
and like
straight
I
up.
say, I failed. Yeah, and I this no lie. I failed about 3 weeks ago. We did a live. I'm recording out here in my backyard. We recorded whatever, and then I was walking because I was barbecuing at the same time, and I'll never forget it. I had barely took 2 sips of beer that day. So I hadn't even been drinking. I was so busy. And so I
Mhm.
stepped outside on the phone doing too much. A simple step. It wasn't even a high step because the way I slipped off the side of the slipper, my entire foot was swollen for about 2 weeks, and I could hardly walk on it.
Mhm.
And I barely did anything. I walked down the
Mhm.
stairs every day. I
And
think
the
about
thing is,
that.
when we get older, you know, our feet are sensitive to things
I
that
was messed up, girl.
you remember back in the day, though, the old ladies, the old women, when they get off,
Yes.
they would soak their feet in Epsom salt
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or put liniment on it or massage
Yes.
feet. As we get older, our feet and our hands, you know, they're at those extremities of our bodies. And you know, I'm not any kind of podiatrist or orthopedic surgeon, whatever you call the doctors that deal with this kind of stuff. So don't take my advice as medical advice. But I remember I dropped a can. I was in the kitchen. I dropped a can on my foot
Mm.
out of nowhere, and my foot was black for about not my whole foot, but the part where the
The
can,
area. Hmm.
you know, it was bruised. It was black and blue for you know at least 3 4 weeks, and I was thinking, I'm like, that didn't even hurt that much at the time, but I felt sore from it for a while.
Mm.
And on how she fell, you know, it's just it's one of those things about the challenge that we don't always get into, but it happens every single challenge, whether it's, you know, Casey's pregnancy or Jimmy having to go home to take care of her father or Veronica falling on, you know, her foot and having a misstep. You know, it's, you just never know what's going to happen. You just never know. I hope it's not the last. I mean, TJ tells us in the episode
Yeah, he
that
did.
that you know he and it's not the last time that we think we're gonna see Veronica. And so you know, y'all viewers, y'all ain't say she ain't done singing yet.
No, I don't think. I just think they want to make sure she's safe because these things can turn into something worse. So this challenge is played, and one male, one female per round. They have to lean out of a helicopter to look down and memorize a color pattern floating in the water below.
Mhm.
Once the helicopter gets to the drop, the people they gotta, jump out, put the puzzle together in the water, whatever, and then hit the button or whatever to recreate the pattern. Whoever gets it done the fastest wins. They gotta tell TJ, the DJ is done it, check it. So Veronica had the one star. So the women are competing because whoever wins this one gets her star, bro. I was like,
Yep,
what?
they get her star too. Whoever wins this one gets her star, and then whoever goes into elimination are going to get potentially, there's a potential to not only get the person that they defeat stars, but also get that extra star. Now, I don't know, how we progress in the episode, whether or not both the women and the men go in elimination, but we'll see that soon.
So Mark and Kelly go first, Kellyanne. And of course she gets down quicker. Mark, gets to the station and finishes puzzle first. They both
Mhm.
hyped up by everything they did. And I understand why they were, because what they were doing was some stuff. And Kellyanne was like, "I really hope it's me because the girl that got this was thing was, especially with the treehouse."
Yeah,
Derek,
yeah.
huh?
No, I was agreeing with
Derek and Kayla go next. And Kayla, to me, I felt like in this episode just didn't gave up, or I don't know if you didn't notice it or not. I just felt like it was she wasn't there for it. I don't know because her girl went to the house.
I,
Um,
what I got
mhm.
was it was definitely notes of that. I think that there are some challenges that are put in front of you where because it's like multi-layered, you have the puzzle, you have the swimming, and you have the heights.
Mhm.
I think that one of those pieces for her was causing her great anxiety. You know, they weren't just swimming the length of the pool. That was a long distance, and we start to see that later as we move through this activity that, that's not an easy swim. I mean, to me, it looked like at least two pool lengths. Now Caleb doesn't come off as being a terrible swimmer. Maybe that wasn't her hang up, but you could be a great swimmer, but not a great distance swimmer, you know.
Well,
That's
she
what
couldn't
a
remember the
lot of I
color.
was. Hmm?
She couldn't remember the colors where she struggled at because Derek did his and she couldn't really remember. So
Yeah,
she.
I think I threw her off because I mean, that's what I was getting in her face was just anxiety, period. Because
Mhm.
you could look at something and be like, oh, this part's going to be simple. I'm not going to have to think about that. But when you
Right.
get the moment, it ain't as easy as you thought it was going to be. And now you hung up, you locked. So, I mean, I don't know. I might be completely off, but that's how, as a viewer, that's what I got.
I think she was more thrown off by the puzzle than the hype because she just did that crazy hype, the mad program over that water. And it was way, way high. I just think she was tripping because her friend was gone. She couldn't remember the puzzle. She was just tripping to me.
Oh,
So Western Jonay go
brain fog.
next.
She was having some brain fog.
She was. I mean, to me, I would have been struggling with that whole with the airplane and that water one it did last time. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah.
Janae, she gets down there and she gets to the puzzle station. Now she gets her puzzle done, and West was like surprised. It's like he's still surprised because I know at one point in time she struggled a lot, and she did in a lot of the competitions. But them days long gone where she didn't want a child and everything. Get over yourself, bro.
I'm telling you, there's an app for it.
It's done.
She done gone home and like, look,
Look,
I'm a practice. I'm gonna get
look.
my ish together.
Naya and Brad went up. Now look, I'm gonna say this. Now look, oh my god. Okay, I understand that Naya was upset about Jordan going home. I get it. I get it. I get it. And like I said when I tweeted earlier, I was like, look, I respect her. And because she's a black woman, to see a black woman get through these competitions for watching these for years. I'm not trying to see you have everybody in your back, mama, but damn. I just
But
want
let me
she
tell you
is
what I
no,
was
no, no,
feeling.
hold on. Let me just say this. I wanted her to finish this, and of
Yeah.
course, I'm preface this by saying, no, I'm not in her position. No, I can't. I probably couldn't do any of it. I'm gonna say that, but it's always they say we can't do those type of challenges. It's almost like when am I going to see, or are you going to put anybody who's going to do these things? I don't know. Ronnie may have gone that far, but I always been watching channels for over 20 years. And it seems like over the last 15 years, there's been an argument with a lot of content creators and just fans that with us, not about the men, black women, we don't see us. Look what happened to Rhea recently. It's like we're scared of.
But let's clock back.
Okay, go ahead.
We have
I had to
Katie,
say
who
that.
is not African American, who was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not jumping off a building. So I think that sometimes as women, we're kind of hold ourselves to an unreasonable this idea of standard because I think that if Ronnie, I always say Ronnie because in my brain I'm thinking of macaroni,
Ronnie,
RONI,
right?
and it's stuck. But Ronnie, I think Ronnie would have beasted that. I
I
would have
think she would
beasted
have
that.
too.
Like, we would have been like, "Woo, let's go!" At the same time, that wasn't the fear that needed to be faced. I'll offer this. I'm gonna come from a whole different angle. We know that Naya is not afraid of water. We also know that Naya is not afraid of heights because she's an airline flight,
Mhm.
commercial. She's a not commercial. Excuse me. She is a luxury elite flight uh, a flight attendant on luxury airplanes. So we know
Okay.
she's afraid of flight heights. But think about life. You could take two things that you're not afraid of, but when you put them together in a certain way, it changes things. She may be not be afraid of heights and might not be afraid of water, but when you're talking about a crashing plane or jumping out of a plane, we may have encountered a phobia that, you know what I mean, we never knew about. I know that when I don't know, Kamisha, when you're on a plane and it starts, the turbulence starts, in my mind, because the first time I ever saw somebody on a plane, in my conscious mind, was I watching the Twilight Zone and the little monster
Me
ripping up.
too. Stop
Yeah,
it.
remember that? Yeah, he was
You
ripping up
done.
the
Stop
wing
it. Yes, my
of
mama got
the
me watch Twilight
wing.
Zone.
And
Yes,
I'm
yes,
sitting there like,
yes, yes,
it's something out there. And they were
yes.
like, there's something out there, you crazy. And then the plane
Come on,
crashed.
one woman show.
Yes. Maybe we unraveled the onion in the wrong place, and then the tears came out. She may have a fear of crashing that we don't know about, and
I
so
understand. And I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying that her not doing it. I just, to me, I feel
you
like
wish you had seen her like
if you go on
superhero or
these
whatever.
shows, if you go on these shows, if you sign up for these shows, anybody who know me know I just keep it 100%. If you go on these shows, you can't tell me that you do not know there are going to be chances that you're going to jump in the water, eat something nasty, jump out of a helicopter or a plane. I'm sorry, I feel bad for her, but I feel like even when Bailey did it, and I love Bailey, she's gonna have a baby on the way with her and Swaggy. I was like, bro, why did you get on there? Y'all were gonna just stop. Why? And that's the way I
Because
feel
I
about
think
it.
I think maybe she thought she could talk herself into it. You know, how many times in life do you get real, real, real close to something that you're scared of because you pull on your resilience, you pull on something deep inside you, and you're like, but for whatever reason, when you get to the line, it is not enough to push you over. I think that and maybe she encountered an unrealized fear. Because it's one thing to think to yourself, okay, I'm going to get in the helicopter, I'm going to sit on the side of it with a bungee cord only tied to me, because that's the part that I think maybe had her wigged out. Normally, if you jump out of a plane, you can stabilize yourself by holding on to the sides of the door, and you can have your feet planted on the floor of the plane. Embrace yourself. The brilliant minds around a challenge, they took that part out, the bracing yourself part. They were balancing on the edge of a leg of a helicopter with a bungee cord attached to their back, having to balance on that thing before being dropped. That's different. It's
No,
maybe
no, look, this
subtle,
this
but it's
thing,
different.
Ayana, I get it. Look, this is the thing. I am not discounting her feelings. I hope that whoever listens to this, even if she hears this, I'm not discounting her feelings.
Right.
What I'm saying is, and I look at this because to be a blogger, I have to look at things from every angle, not just a black woman's angle. I look at from a woman's angle. I look at from a fan's angle, whatever, whatever. Somebody who's been championed for you as a fan, let's go from that angle for a long period of time and watch you go through so many different these things and journey to happy to see you graduated from real world or whatever to the challenge and to see you compete, to see you how you grew with Jordan. People are fascinated with that story. Then to see you on here, he's saying it's your time, and they want to see you do what you do. It's man, it's a story that I'm going to plan on putting
Yeah.
together at the end of this. But
Yeah.
I'm just being honest and saying my piece, how I feel about it, how everybody probably feels about it, somewhat. I still love her, think she's awesome, and think that she's very strong. And I see the preview; she's going to be in the finals. Of ours,
Mhm.
you see, she's gonna be in the finals, and so I'm super happy and proud of that. I'm speaking on this instance, and I just do that. Just if you listen to me now,
Yeah,
Mama, this is
I
how I
mean, I
rock.
think she has a great chance of making it to the final too.
I
But I'll
do.
tell you this, I think that sometimes we have these internal triggers that until that thing has been pulled, we may not even know that we got it.
Mm,
And I look forward to seeing her talk about it. I might reach out to her and maybe try to connect the dots between you two. But I would love to have
yeah.
her talk about, from her
Yes,
perspective, what was
I
happening
would love
inside.
to hear it. I would love to. I would love to hear it because, like I said earlier, I wasn't there. I said that for anybody on challenge. I tell other bloggers this too. We can give our piece or whatever. Even do my big brothers the same thing, but we're not in the house. We can say what we would do if we was there. That's just time I think back. If I was ever called Big Brother, because everybody doesn't want to do Big Brother one day. If they ever called me, I say a lot of stuff online. I said, but I don't know how I would actually feel in the house. Cameras are rolling, and I'm there for 3 months and got to figure it out. So I say that all the
Yeah.
time. I look at
Eventually,
both
you
sides
forget
of it.
about it. Eventually, you get used to them. You forget about them, and you're living your life. And like I think that moment we get to see, for all the people that think that the shows are scripted or anything like that, this is one of those moments where I think that the litmus test is in front of all of you. You
Mm,
can't script something like that. Not the way she was crying. I think
no,
that I think that
no.
that triggered something, and I would love to hear her talk about it. Even and she may not want to disclose if it's something that's
I
traumatic.
was hurting for. I'm not gonna lie. I was hurting for because I know that she wanted to be there, and I think
Yeah, I don't
love is
think
too
it was
much.
just about. I don't. I do think that you hit on something though that I'm. It's starting to sink in a little bit. I don't think it was just about the activity. I think something else was happening too. Because she had that I'm triggered cry like.
Yeah, yeah. Like some is going. Yeah. So um,
Michael Myers don't stab me again type cry
look,
like.
this is really. But yes, no, but you. I'm trying to be. Anyway, I came with
I
you.
love you, Daya.
Anyway, let's wrap it up here. TJ's, let's get to his. So two guys got the puzzle right, which is Mark and Derek. Okay, Derek is killing it. He is not known for puzzles. Let's be real, Derek. Listen to this. I love you, baby. But you know you're not known for puzzles. But you're killing it this season. Okay, you turn into the king of the puzzles at this point. At this point. Okay, he's giving that. Okay, Mark got them faster though, because Mark is the king. This is
Right.
so anyway, the two women, uh um oh my gosh, Jonay and Kellyanne. Kellyanne got it done faster, but she flipped it like on the wrong side, which means Jonay wins it for the women.
Yeah,
Plus,
the line wasn't 90 degrees or
yeah,
something here, and
some
I need to go back and watch it again because when
I
it
was
was first
like,
said,
I
my
don't
face
know,
looked like
man.
Kellyanne's face. Like, y'all really gonna be that petty? Like,
Yes, I feel like they just did not
that
want Kellyanne to win. I don't know why. I feel like they didn't want Kellyanne to win that because she was in a hurry. I was like, even I was
right.
like, what?
Yeah,
Oh,
I got a side eye.
I
I have an
did.
audience side eye. Matter of fact, for our next one, I'm gonna point out two eyeballs that's looking left. Because
Yeah, let's
my
go.
eyeballs are all chinky, can't
I,
really
I'll
see.
get you that. I'll
Can't
get you
see
that
right.
overlay. I'll give you
I
that
look
overlay.
sideways,
Whenever you
like,
want to show it, I'll put it up. You hear me?
I can't see sideways.
I said I will get you that overlay and put it up
Yeah,
here. Whenever you want to put it up here, let me know and I'll put it up. I
all right,
just tell me what
good.
kind you want.
Yeah. I give a side eye
Okay, let me
Kelly
find.
Kellyanne not winning that one because
Um,
the explanation was funny. It's not at 90 degrees. I'm like, but go ahead. You
this is
tell.
the part where everybody just kind of they're all trying to talk to try to figure out what they're gonna do, strategize, who going in, not going in. And to me, at the end of the day, even though I have to admit and give it to Wes, talking to Nehemiah and his boys, trying to keep them out of line of fire, because Wes was thinking him and Derek gonna have this powwow, this hoedown, drag out thing. But I'm like, he think he
I
the
think
beast.
too, Wes wanted to go get them stars.
He did, but he
He's
also
a
at the
businessman. He's like,
same
wait a
time,
minute.
it was a
You mean
double
to
for
tell
him.
me all I have to do is push myself to my limits, and I'm gonna go get that big bag on the table, and I'm gonna go into the final being the wealthiest man in the final. And I think he even used that term, like he's gonna go in being the wealthiest man. He wanted it. He was salivating. He wanted that elimination.
Yeah. So Derek is talking to Mark and Brad. Of course, they're like, of course, he's not gonna do Brad. This is boy, and
Mhm.
Mark trying to convince Derek about the same plan the West coming up with, but it's not going to plan because in his mind he's gonna open Nehemiah. When he won, in his mind he gonna do Nehemiah. But anyway, before we get to that, Wes is trying to figure things out, and the one thing that I did not think that Wes would do, but even though I know they've come a long way, baby, he caught my
Now,
butt.
mind you, being normally when men take off their clothes on this show, I've been very, very like, oh, nice little extra something. He
Mm-hmm.
could have kept his extra ass to himself.
I was like,
I was like,
why
oh,
did you do that? Because I did not want to.
I didn't want to see all. That's too much. Too soon. Too soon.
I wasn't. Wait.
Too soon. He did it twice. He mooned us twice.
Hold on. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Like, wait a minute. Hold up.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I wasn't either. Mm-mm.
Oh my God. They are a trip. So, anyway, he's calling Johnny Bananas rivalry, friendship, whatever it's supposed to be. Wes wants his opinion about whether it's worth it to volunteer for elimination against Derek, who he's beaten Banana, but Wes did before elimination. Anyway, Wes is laying all this out, telling Bananas revealed that he is like, look, ain't got no pants on, showing all of the bananas and bananas. I
Right.
don't know why.
Showing all the bananas, all the buns.
Butt cheeks and thong.
We ain't even
Anyway,
seen none of them. We ain't even seen none of them
twice,
buns.
twice. I'm not understanding what was going on. But then, Bananas was like, just go for the gusto. Do what you got to do. Go for the
Hold on.
gusto.
I'm sorry. Boss lady is woke
Uh
up
oh,
from the nap.
So, anyway, next day, Kayla and Jonay, they talk about Kellyanne and Yogi Bada Pooh, and she tells Kayla that Kellyanne, talking about the volunteering for the elimination. And Kayla
Mm-hmm.
says she don't care if Jonay sends her in either. And so Jonay was like, well, darn, I got two people who telling me they don't care who goes in. So Mark tells Jonay that Jack wants to go in. Jonay wants to throw down West, drop a few pegs or whatever. Like I said, Derek's gonna do whatever he wants to do.
That's right.
Wes is really pissed off that he didn't get what he wanted. Okay. Two members of the treehouse are going to do Rita. Kayla and Derek are going down. Now, everybody is like seeing the single pole in the middle of the sand, like, what in the world's going on? Pole wrestle. Kayla, oh my God.
Because it hadn't come up yet this season.
Oh, Wes is guy getting hyped. When Derek was walking down, Derek, you what did he tell him? Get him, kill him. I don't know what he was saying. Well, he was saying something. Wes was hyped about this whole thing. He wants the pole wrestle rematch so bad because he lost it to him in the duel. So now it's the perfect time, but it didn't happen. Oh, Derek, he said, kick his ass. Kayla chooses Kellyanne, of course, for opponent. I ain't gonna lie, real talk, I was happy that night wasn't going down. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I thought that she was going to be the one, but
I was happy she wasn't the one though. Okay. But it's been a long back and forth with them. I knew it was gonna happen that way. So it is what it is. So between the two of them, Derek chooses Nehemiah because he's thinking that he is he is the easiest one, in my opinion. Which I did not like because Nehemiah is what is strong as crap. So they tricked us. They had the guys go first. We all ready for this big old fight, and then we have a cliffhanger. Boop,
that's
boop, boop,
right.
boop. So we don't know what's going on. We won't know what's going on with this big fire that's about to go down on the challenge. We will come back next week with the conclusion of this fire. That is
Why do they leave us hanging like this? I was sitting there on the edge of my seat.
I was
Is
ready.
it gonna
I
be
was
them
ready.
or is it gonna be me?
Mm.
And they just let us have to sit here on a hot seat for a whole week. Damn all
Well,
stars.
y'all know what you gotta do. Make sure you follow and subscribe and check out my channel. Join membership if you want to get all the tea behind the scenes and join the mentee program. If you need help with your channel, you just start your channel out. I will have Ayanna's stuff in the description. You can follow her, especially on IG, to see all her good, funny videos, things she got going on, good causes she's following. So again, until next time, peace.